And then we'll curl the bucket in, maybe? No, that's not what I want. There we go. There we go. Curl the bucket in. Whoa! Violent mining at its best. I don't think that was supposed to do that. Hello everyone, I'm CrypticFox, and welcome back to Gold Rush the game. We're still on the road to try to make our fortune. And we had a really good boost the other night when we were playing, and we picked up this gigantic gold nugget, like 39 ounces or whatever it was. I think it was 39. We ended up putting away something a little over 40 ounces of gold into the pan. They gave us a huge boost in cash when we sold that. So we're now at like $49,356, and we're looking to improve. So we recently switched over to this hog pan with pump that we can actually pump water into, and that saved a lot of time not having to fill it with buckets of water. But with that particular gold find, we want to upgrade to the next level. Now there is, in the journal here, there's Tier 1 is what we've been working on with the hog pan. And I'd like to move on to Tier 2 now, which is the mobile wash plant. Now there's a little bit more involved in getting this set up. So we're going to need buckets, and we've already got a pump, but we're going to need a power generator. And it looks like we're going to need a magnetite separator. So we got a few things to go here. Now, it says we need 3 buckets, but I've already got 2. I'll probably still buy a couple of those, but today we're here to do a little bit of shopping. We're back at the warehouse. This is the mobile wash plant over here. $13,500. That's a pretty good chunk of change, but we're definitely buying that because we want to increase our production. And we can't do that just with the little hog pan. Now, it's pretty decent at capturing some small amounts of gold, but when we're trying to get a decent amount of throughput, it's just not going to work. And when it comes to gold production, it seems like the greater the volume you can pass through things, the better your potential results. This is the magnetite separator. So I would gather, after we get our bucket of concentrate out of the mobile wash plant, then we would dump it in the magnetite separator, and that would thin it out even further. So then we would be down to a point of just having like highly concentrated stuff that ideally has a better proportion of gold in it. And then when we actually get to the point of panning it all out, with any luck, we'll do pretty well gold wise. So I'm not sure how the game works entirely in terms of where the gold's located. If you have to be really specific about where you dig it up in order to find the gold. If you watch Gold Rush at all, a lot of the time they're clearing off topsoil and things like extra dirt, overburden, and things that just doesn't generally have a good concentration of gold in it. And I don't know if this game works the same way or if it just bases it purely off of passing dirt through the machinery and then there's some sort of random element there. But we shall find out. So we have the small water pump already. I just bought the mobile wash plant. We're going to need a mobile generator, cables and hoses, some buckets and things. So over here we have, what's this? That's the hydraulic hose. We don't need that. Power rope fat and power rope thin. And then we have fat power rope extension cord. So I'm going to grab, buy maybe 2 of the fat cords. They're not very expensive, so it's probably better to have extras of these things just in case. So we got 2 of each of those. Here's the generator, I believe. Yeah, the mobile generator, that's $350. So we need 1 of those. We're going to need probably some more buckets. I have 2 already, but it can't hurt to have a couple of extras. So we'll still buy the 3 buckets it recommends, just so we have some extra that way. What else do we need in here? So we've got wash plant, small pump, generator, cables and hoses, 3 buckets, and the magnetite separator. So we have pretty much everything we need there. But now we also need a way to load the dirt into the mobile wash plant, and that's where the small excavator comes in. To get that, though, we have to go over to the heavy equipment store. So it says we need to go there and buy the small excavator and then hook up the wash plant to the pickup and bring that back to our claim. So if we go over here, cash only. Yeah, because everybody walks around with $15,000 in cash in their pocket. I mean, granted, I am right now, but that's got to be abnormal, though. Nevertheless, let's buy what we have here. So $15,030. That's actually not so bad. We have $34,000 left to work with. I have no idea how much this excavator is going to cost, but we should probably go check that out. I'm going to leave all the stuff in the pickup area here right now. Oh, man, they got it all like nicely lined up here and everything. Look at that organization. Fantastic. I wonder if I should have bought the little extension piece for the electrical cable so they can plug together. I don't know. We'll leave it for now. Let's go over and we'll check out the machinery. Let's see. So it's going to be down here. So I have to go south of where we are, I guess, to the machine park. See if we can get there without crashing the truck this time. That would be novel. So far, I've been having a lot of fun with the game. It's kind of like it's just another one of those. Whoops! Probably don't want the parking brake on. So turn off the differential, it says, but probably the parking brake would be the primary concern. I mean, so far it's been like a pretty entertaining game. I like these little simulator games. They're neat. I don't play a lot of simulator games, but the ones that I have played I've really enjoyed. All right, so I guess this is the machinery place. Oh, jeez. As I smoke my truck into the, what is that? Like sluice boxes or something there. All right, let's take a little peek around here and see what we find. I gotta get out of the truck. Yeah, so here's the sluice boxes. Those ones are huge. That's boulders, rock sluice box, boulder sluice box. Man. Okay, so some of these things are actually tarped over. I don't even know what this is exactly. Available soon. So it looks like maybe through updates and things. I know they did a Kickstarter campaign for this game, and I don't know whether it got to the point of having enough funding for them to put in all the different things that they wanted to do. But hopefully, it'll be a case of they'll take some of the earnings that they make from selling the game, and they'll be able to produce some more content to put in it and have some more updates and things too. This is part of a big trommel. Yeah. Oh, it's actually a standalone trommel all by itself. That's cool. I wonder if it must have some sort of a feeder or something to get in there. But there are only a couple of pieces of machinery we can get. So we have front-end loaders, bulldozer, and then we have the excavator. This is the excavator we want here, I think. The small excavator, $28,000. My lord. All right, that's a pretty significant investment, but one I think that's going to be warranted because that's the only way to keep growing is to get bigger and bigger. And frankly, we need more machinery. And if Todd Hoffman is any indication, you need to overspend on machinery. Mind you, profit-wise, he hasn't done super great. Oh, look at this big power plant. That's sweet. 69,500. Man, what's this? Fuel tank? Yep, big fuel tank. A shaker deck. Wow, man, there's some cool stuff in here. A duplex jig. Man, they got everything. All right, let's, I don't know, where do I have to go to pay for this? I guess over to the office over here. Ooh, man, a little video lag there. This is the large excavator. Big excavator, $74,000. It's going to be a while before we can afford that thing. All right, so we need to arrange for transport for this as well. I wonder how much that's going to cost. Let's see. So small excavator, $28,000. Let's order that. The machine has been automatically transported to our nearest storage space. You can move them to your claim from the transport window next to you. There's a limitation to one machine of a kind per claim. All right. So we'll have to go over here now and set up transportation. So this is an odd sort of a setup. All right, so the old Arnold parcel is the only one that I have. Storage space. I guess. Oh, okay. Pick the small excavator. There we go. So we'll send that over. It's only going to cost $1,500 only. That's a fairly decent chunk of change. That leaves me with $4,826. I was kind of hoping I could get the water table, but I think that might be like $5,000 or $6,000. So we might be just a little bit shy of that yet. And even if I did get the water table, it'd probably need more hoses and things too. So let's go back. I'll go back to the shop, load up the truck, and then we'll need to hitch up to our mobile wash plant and see if we can get that back to our claim. All right, truck's all loaded up. Let's see if we can get this thing hooked up to the mobile wash plant. This might be a little bit interesting. I haven't tried to back up this truck with any precision up to this point. But I guess we can go to the street side here. There should be a hitch here that we can back up to. If I can get this thing to move. All right, come on, cooperate with me. All right, there we go. So we'll try and back this up. It'd be nice if we could get this even on the first try. That'd be great. I don't know. Did I actually hook up to this thing? I guess not. Hold on. I gotta figure out how this works exactly. So, imagine... There we go. Just bring this... Oh, no! Okay, let's see how close do we have to get for this thing to hitch up? And is there actually... Is there like a hitch thing you have to click on back here to get this thing to connect? Oh. I'm actually... It looks like I'm over top of it. That can't be right. Hold on, let me pull forward and see if maybe there's something I have to do. Maybe I have to crank this thing forward, up or something, and... creep this thing forward just a little bit. Okay, look. Oh, there we go. Come on, show me just like a little bit of backward motion here. Okay, so the little trailer hitch lights up, and then I think you can go back here and connect it. Here's hoping. There we go. That's impressive. Man, I'm a muscle man. I can pull this mobile wash plant up there and hook it up. That's a little crazy. All right, let's get back to the claim. See if we can get this all hooked up and functional. I should probably take the brake off. It's amazing how that works. Try to get back to the claim without rolling this thing over and dumping a huge mess of metal on the ground. Stop signs! You don't need no stop signs. They're optional. There's no traffic here anyway. Police station to police the whole population of one person at this place. Me. We made it back to the claim safe and sound. I can see we have our excavator here, and it never actually occurred to me to wonder whether the excavator is going to be fueled when I get it. I really kind of hope it is, because my jerry can has some fuel in it. I left it over by the hog pan. But not a ton. Now, I guess the next thing to do will be to figure out where exactly we want to put this thing. And I'm not exactly sure where the best position for this is. Now, we have to have water supplied for this thing, and that could present a challenge, because I know we have a little stream or whatever over there that provides water for our hog pan, but if we're digging way over here, which I think is where we want to go with the excavator, because we can't really get it over to that tiny little spot. And even if we could, I mean, it'd be like a couple shovelfuls and it'd be done. But I don't see a water supply over here. Oh, this is really dug up over here. See, I don't know whether I should dig in this spot over here. Like, is this virgin ground over here where this is all ground that's been processed? Or is there something else going on here? Is this a pile of pay dirt or what? So, I mean, it looks like somebody might have piled up some pay dirt here. Hopefully that's what this is and not just topsoil. I mean, they've got little gold flecks in it, but, I mean, that could just as easily be just a plain texture they're using for everything. Is there any water way over in this side of things? See, it actually gets fairly deep down here. And normally you want to try to get deeper in the ground to find better gold, because a lot of it apparently hangs out down by the bedrock layer. And so far, I mean, it seems like we're just kind of digging in topsoil, but I don't know how that works exactly in this game. All right, well, there's piping over here, but there's no water source over here, so certainly we'll need to solve for that. I don't think we can even get over this stuff here. Let's see if we can jump over the barrier. Is there a creek back here? No, I can't jump over this. I guess it's intended to be scenery, but not something you can actually interact with. All right, let's pick a spot for the plant. You know, I think I'm gonna actually. Maybe I'll put the plant over here. I'm really curious to see whether this is actually pay dirt. So maybe we'll put the plant over here somewhere, and we'll bring over the excavator and try digging in that pay dirt and see how it goes. But certainly the water is going to have to be something we'll figure out. All right, I think this should be close enough to that pay dirt pile, hopefully. Let's get back here. We'll unhitch this. That leaves the plant sitting free. Now we're gonna need power and everything for this in order for it to work, as well as water. So we brought lots of supplies, cords and everything. Let's get these out of here. Ah, come on, this is gonna be tough. I might have to move the truck. Oh, there we go. So I don't know whether I was going to take these large power cords or the smaller ones, so I just kind of bought them both. I'm going to have to move forward. All right, the truck's all unloaded. We're going to need to figure out how to set all this stuff up now. I'm going to need a jerry can and also the water pump, both of which are sitting back at the back in the encampment back here. So we'll go grab those from the riverside and bring them over here, and then we'll have something to work with. Oh, I'm perched on top of my bucket. That's interesting. That's one strong plastic bucket right there. Okay, we're all set with our water pump hoses and fuel now. We hauled them over from the river. We are going to need a source of water for this, and I've seen some people using an interesting little trick with the game that we might try out, but let's see if we can see how to connect all this stuff together. So in DigTube, they've got these neat little gold mining, hog pan, mobile wash, but they have these neat little videos that you can watch that don't have any like audio and stuff necessarily to them, but so buy and transport, setup, loading, screening. But you can watch little videos that kind of show you exactly how to do all the setup. So on the mobile washman, we have to put a bucket in. We have to connect up the water hose, and it's actually funny that it uses a small water line for that. Connect up the power line, and then I guess we start the water pump, start the generator, and then Bob's your uncle. It's interesting though that it doesn't show you how to get the water over here. It only just shows you how to turn everything on and kind of get it running. Let's get this thing set up. It shouldn't take too much, I don't think. So we're going to take our power line and we'll go over here to our little generator. We'll connect that up. No. There we go. Use. So we connect that to there. And then this needs to go over to... Oh, wouldn't that figure? I didn't pay attention to what side the connections were on. I kind of want to turn this thing around. Oh, let's put it over this here way for now. I don't think it'll actually have any kind of significant impact on it. Hopefully, but... there it is connected to power. Now it needs water. If we grab the small water hose, we can connect that to the output here on our pump. And then this should have no trouble at all reaching all the way over to here to plug it in. Is it right there? There we go. All right, so it's connected that way, but now this bucket actually needs to go in here in order to catch the material. Very cool. Okay, so that's all set up, but now we have the issue of what are we going to do about water? So I'm going to grab the fuel for this. We'll fuel this thing up. How do I fuel this? Nope. Apparently just dropping it on top isn't going to get the job done. How do I fuel this thing up? Do I have to open it first? I had to open it first. See, now... Look at that, making all kinds of logical sense. Simulation indeed. Alright, so our tank is fully filled now, so we have that. We still have half a jerry can full of fuel. That's crazy. This thing is still at 76%, so I'm not in a big rush to fuel it. Let's take this crazy pump hose thing. Now, from what I've seen, there's an interesting effect in this game in that water tends to be kind of unlimited, so you don't really need like an entire river. You just need a source. So I'm going to try taking a bucket of water, just a single little bucket. We're going to try putting our hose in this thing and see if it will actually produce enough water that we can use to run our plant with. Okay, we got our bucket of water. I'm not sure if this is going to work. I may not be able to get this thing to actually fall in the bucket. That might be probably my number one problem here. Oh, I missed it. Well, I succeeded in knocking the bucket over. And it didn't spill. That's crazy. Alright. Alright, it was not working at all with our small bucket. However, I went and got the bucket from our panning system. And the hose drops in there kind of nicely. It goes right through the side of it, which is kind of weird. But, you know, it does fit in there. Now, from what I understand, this might be kind of a bit of a bug or an exploit. I'm pretty sure this is not the intended functionality because nothing should have an unlimited source of water that way. However, at the moment, you can't connect hoses together, so your only other option is to sort of daisy chain hoses with pumps and kind of stretch the distance you want to go. And that's kind of inefficient too, because then you're running all kinds of fuel and stuff in pumps that aren't really necessary. When really, you should be able to have your hose with multiple extensions on it. But maybe it's because this is just a small pump or something that they give us. Maybe at some point they'll give us a larger pump that has greater capacity to it. But in the meantime, I think we're just about ready to run. I'm going to check out the dig tube and see if there's anything on using the magnetite separator. And then we can maybe go from there. Okay, the magnetite separator actually should be really easy to set up too. We want our thin power cable this time. And we'll go over to the generator and we'll plug it in over here. Now where does this plug? Okay, I guess right there. So it plugs into the small spot on there. And then where's the plug on here? No, don't fall over. Man, that thing's unstable. All right, so we plug that in there, and then we'll need another small hose to run from our water pump here, which we can put on this side. And that just stretches into this spot over here, and then we're going to need a couple of buckets. So we have one bucket here. This one can go into the dirt side, I guess. And then this bucket that I unfortunately filled with water. Tell me there's a way I can dump this out. There's got to be, there should be a way to dump these things out. It doesn't look like there is. You know what? Let's just dump it in here. It's all water anyway. And then... Is it empty? Yeah, it's empty. And then I can put that bucket under there. Okay, so what'll happen is we'll run the trommel, and it will get a certain amount of concentrate in the bucket there, but it's going to have a lot of dirt and stuff still in it. So then we take it from there, and we run it through the magnetite separator, and that will further concentrate it so that we'll have a bucket that has a higher concentration of gold, which means that when we're panning, because we don't have a water table yet, when we're panning, that will help speed up that process, and will help filter out more of the dirt, so we'll maybe have a little bit less to pan to still get the same amount of gold. That's how it'll work in theory, anyway. Everything is ready to run now. We just need to bring over the excavator, but it's already starting to get dark, so I think I'm going to call it a night here. We'll head over to the trailer, have a quick rest, and then when the sun's up in the morning, we'll bring over the excavator and get to work on actually trying to harvest some gold here. It's another bright sunny day here in Haines, Alaska, and we're ready to hop on board our excavator and see if we can smash this into something inappropriately, because I'm not sure how to run it. Alright, so we're going to show the controls here because I'm not sure how this thing works, but I imagine we hit X to start it the same as we do the truck. Yes. Oh, listen to that rumble. Sweet. Alright, so we have different cameras and stuff. How do I... Let's see. Shift gets to the operator mode. Ooh, okay, there we go. So we want to go bucket up, bucket down, close bucket, big arm up, big arm down, so we can... Alright, this is going to take a little bit of figuring out. So we'll go back into driver mode. Should probably take the brake off. There we go. Alright, we're moving. Check this thing out. It's just something about boys and big machinery. I don't know what it is. It's just something awfully empowering about it. Look at that thing. Isn't that sweet? We're just on a tear. Alright, we're in place now. We've got the, this thing's definitely not fast moving, but we have the excavator over where we have the mobile wash plant. Let's get everything fired up here and make sure everything's working. We don't need to start this thing just yet, because I mean, we don't have any gold to deal with yet. But let's start with our water pump first. Is it getting water? Tell me this is getting water. Tell me this works still. No, it's not showing water. That's a problem. I wonder if they patched that, because I know some people had set this up specifically this way. And it's not working. I may actually need multiple pumps and hoses to stretch water all the way down there. That's going to really stink. Let's fire this thing up, see how this works. Where's the power switch on this thing? Is this generator pull start also? There it is. I found the switch. All right, the generator's going. This thing's not getting any water. That's terrible. Probably because they have the line cooked improperly. Let's try putting it on the input instead of the output. Now we've got water. The magical little bucket of water that's just, like, never ending. All right, so we have a flow of water going. Oh, this thing's got water coming out of it, too. I mean, not that it really matters, but I'm going to disconnect this for now. Just because we don't need that. So we'll send the water over to this plant. Now we've got to turn this thing on. See how this goes. All right, we got motion. It's got water. It's got power. She ain't pretty, but it'll work. All right, let's try this excavator thing out now. This might be a little bit tricky. I got to figure out the operator controls. Okay, so how do we rotate this thing? So big arm up and down. R and F is the small arm up and down. Oh, I should probably help if I turn this thing on. There we go. It's funny how it works so much better when you actually push the button. All right, so R, F. All right, so that's working fine. Up and down is working okay. But I can't get the bucket. Oh, there we go. T is bucket down. G is bucket up. All right, so that's good. And then, oh yeah, I guess we could open and close like the little flappy thing on the back. So I don't really worry about that just now. So I guess we can just kind of leave that, I don't know, in that kind of a position. Open up our bucket. Extend the arm out. Bring it down. And then we'll curl the bucket in, maybe? No, that's not what I want. There we go. There we go. Curl the bucket in. Whoa! Violent mining at its best. I don't think that was supposed to do that. How do I... Close the bucket is Y. No, that's not what I want. So I want bucket up or bucket down. So bucket up is G. Oh boy, this is going to take a little bit of toying around to figure this thing out. So many keys. I don't even need the mouse right now, so I guess I should just use straight keyboard. Okay, so that's all closed up. We can swing that over. And get this over top of our wash plant. Hopefully this is there. And then Y? No. T to bucket down. Raise the arm up a little bit. We'll bucket this down. Tell me that dumps in there. Did I even get that over top? No, I didn't. There we go. Ah! We washed our first dirt. Sweet. Okay, so now we go down and out. Extend the arm a little bit. Down again. Dig it in. Lift our bucket up. Pivot it over. Whoop. Probably shouldn't do that. How do I... Oh, there we go. T opens it up. Let's dump this back in again. I think I might have I misaimed there a little bit. It's actually... The perspective on this is really tough. What kind of different camera angles do we have on this thing? So, next camera is C. Oh, the bucket camera. That is the view I want right there. I feel like that will give us our greatest probability of success here. Whoop. Nope. Clearly, I am not the person you want to hire as an operator. Alright, so that's finally done there. Let's extend this out again. Lower the bucket down. Curl it in. Pick it up. Draw it back in. Rotate it over. We'll get the hang of this. I just need a little bit of practice at it, I think. Let's open that up. Oh yeah, now we're making business. We're gonna make crazy amounts of gold here. Dig that in again. Oh, no. Wrong button. There we go. I dumped a little bit of it back on the ground, but that's okay. We got lots of dirt here to work with, I think. Yeah, this is definitely the view to work from, though. Like, you can't really judge it very well otherwise, but this is a really good view. I'm gonna go like this. Sweet. All right, I'm gonna grab enough gold here, enough dirt here that we can get this. It's at 26%. We'll see if we can get up to 100. And then we'll try out our magnetite separator and see how that works. And then we'll check out the fruits of our labor by panning it, because I don't have a gold table just yet. But we will have. That'll be my next purchase. We're almost full up to the point where we can start to consider seeing what kind of gold we've managed to capture here so far. And I've gotten a little bit better with working the excavator. This is kind of fun. There's a lot of buttons to pay attention to in order to make this thing work properly. But I've got it down to a process now where we've got like the perfect reach and everything here. We can get the pile of dirt. We're at 97%. This might actually go over. I should probably be, at least a little bit careful. Oh, down. Let's try to bring this thing in a little bit if we can. There we go. This might already be full, so I'm just going to double check and see what it says. Yeah, it's at 100% already, so I'm not going to bother putting this load in. Let's put the bucket down. We don't want to leave the strain on. No, let's extend that out. There we go. Don't want to leave the strain on the hydraulics, but let's shut this down. We can jump out of here. Now, we're going to need to leave the power running because we want to be able to run our magnetite separator there. So we need that. I guess we'll need the water running too, but we can turn off the plant. So we'll just hit the button over here. Man, look at all the dirt I piled in front of this thing. I think I need to work on my aim still a little bit. So we got that turned off. Man, that thing is noisy, and you don't really realize it entirely until you turn it off. We'll put this over here. And then, where are we here? So we need to connect the hose up so we can get some water flowing in here. Like so. Now, there should be an on switch here somewhere, I think, to turn this on. Yeah, there we go. What have we got? So, start and stop. All right, that makes that really easy. We take our bucket, the material we've gotten, we'll dump it in the top of here. That's a quick empty. 3%, 30%. So, small amount of gold, large amount of dirt. I guess is what we're getting from that. I mean, it's hard to tell. It looks like the gold bucket's getting more full than the dirt bucket is, and that makes no sense to me. 72, 73, 74. So, yeah, I mean, weird. It's you would think the dirt bucket would be the one that's getting really full, and not so much the gold bucket, but 85, 86. All right, so I thought we might actually be able to run a couple of things through the magnetite separator before we had to actually pan it out, but I guess that's not going to be the case. 88% and 10%. What happened to the other 2%? They just stay in the 89. Okay, so it's going to creep its way up there. Let's leave that for now. 89. So that's 99%. There we go, 100%. Still shows that it's flowing. What are you going to do? All right, so it's all done. We have 10% dirt in the one thing and 90% gold product in the other. I mean, that percentage seems a little bit strange to me, but you know, what are you going to do? So let's shut this off. Let's turn off our pump over here. Let's try panning this out and see how we did. I mean, the magnetite separator hopefully will have helped kind of concentrate what we're working with. And I just realized I left my pan back at the cabin, so I guess we'll have to go get that. I brought the truck back too because frankly I'm lazy and just didn't want to walk. But we have our pan here now, so if we take our gold pan, stick that on the ground. And then we can take the gold product from here, dump it in our pan, and that'll give us a chance to kind of pan it out and see what we can get. Show me some good, huge chunks of gold in here. That'd be amazing. Now, again, I'm fairly certain that pile of dirt that was sitting there was pay dirt from the last people who were mining here, but not entirely positive. So, I mean, we're getting some good gold in here, so I'm thinking that was probably the case. But let's get into collection mode here. Wow, look at all that gold. Sweet, sweet gold. I'm looking forward to actually getting the gold table so we don't have to go through the process of all this panning, because this is really kind of a nuisance having to individually pick up all the tiny little pieces. It's cool that you get a good sense of exactly how much you're getting, in terms of like quantity anyway. But it would be much easier with just a gold table. That's pretty good. So 0.349 ounce in that first pan. That's not bad. I'm pretty sure this is all cleaned up. I don't think there's any more here to find, but we'll just agitate it around just a little bit more and see what happens. Yeah, we're good. We can dump this out, move on to our next pan. All right, survey says I'm seeing lots of gold in here again. Oh, yeah, that's looking sweet. All right, gotta get out our tools again. Let's see what we get out of this one. So we had 0.349 so far. We're getting some nice pickers here, too, which is good. Getting in there with the tweezers. I mean, I think the magnetite table, for the cost of it, really just is supposed to cut down on the amount that we have to pan. So instead of getting like 4 pans per bucket, I think I'm only going to get 3. All right, so we've got 0.7 of an ounce. That's not so bad. I mean, the hard part is they sort of spoiled us by giving us that one nugget that was like 39 ounces. I don't think that's at all common, and it's a planned event. Just to kind of help boost your game ahead, I guess. I don't know, we might still get 4 pans out of it. That's nice. But now that you get that one, and then you kind of really want another one that's something similar, but I have a feeling that this process is not quite that simple. All right, that makes the end of our last pan. We end up with almost 1 1/4 ounces, 1.224 ounces out of our first attempt with the mobile wash plant. That's not so bad. I think this is gonna be the kind of thing where we obviously want to keep digging away at it, and we'll see if we can get a little bit better result. No, I'm gonna leave the pail that has the dirty stuff in it because it's not really full anyway. Actually, it shows it as empty now. Is it empty? Did the dirt magically vanish, or is that actually dirt in there now? I wonder what happened if you pan the dirt. Is this like zero gold in this dirt? If nothing else, I mean, it helps empty it out, I guess. It's gonna be 0 gold, or is it just like light gold in here? I'm thinking 0 gold. It better be. If it's not, then this magnetite separator is not really worth it. Look, there's a piece of gold in there. What? This thing's not trapping the gold. 1.224, 1. Okay, so it's 0.002 ounces. So that wasn't that big a deal. There's a very, very tiny amount of gold in there. So obviously we're going to lose a little bit, but that's not so bad, I guess. For the cost of it, if it saves time, ultimately that will probably be better in the long run because that'll let us harvest more gold by digging and panning the stuff that's actually worth panning. But this is going to take a little bit more work. We have a little bit more than an ounce that we've collected now. I'm going to keep digging and see what we can do to build up a little bit of a better store of gold here before I go into town to smelt it all. But I'm going to call it a wrap for today. Thanks everyone for checking out the video. When we come back next time, we'll see how much gold we managed to pull out of this this mobile wash plant and see what we can do to kind of expand our operation next and where we'll find our next big gold hit. I'm, as always, CrypticFox. I'll see all of you next time.